we're back. Okay, I'm feeling more refreshed. So this episode you will be seeing on the 20th. That is correct, Saturday the 20th. I am recording it on the 13th. So I've edited and exported yesterday's episodes. They're ready for upload later. You've probably noticed a little something extra. Now I'm going to point like this. This is in the other corner. This is here below. I don't really know where I'm pointing. The OBS is weird and mirrors me. But you can see there's another little square where you can see me. That's here to stay because I tried the 2-angle thing, and because the audio was just dreadful on my spare phone as opposed to what I capture in OBS, I installed DroidCam on my phone, which is next to me here. Hi guys, Cubby! And disabled the audio feature for that, so you don't get like audio jumping around. We still got the Christmas banners, we still got the, I don't know, James Bond sequence GIF is on the screen somewhere, you know. So yes, I'm feeling refreshed. It's 20 to 4 in the evening here where I am as I record this, and then there's a Christmas special to do as well, ready for Christmas Day. Many changes coming for the BONDCAST, which I told you all about in last week's episode, or I'll say yesterday because that's when I recorded it. But let's not get into the thing of when things were coming. But look, I've got my Christmas tree up as well. You can see it here on the other camera. It's glorious. And yes, there are decorations up throughout my flat, some lights in the living room and the hallway, and there's some lights above me as well. I think I mentioned that yesterday. So yes, enjoy even more of me. You're probably thinking, damn, I got turf on the screen. Hey, nobody asked your opinion, okay? I joke, of course. So, this is Mr. Albert R. Brocolli Part 2, which we are getting into today. As I said, it's going to be the longer of the 2 episodes, and the final episode of Series 1. Guys, let's just take a moment here. A whole series, 10 episodes of Series 1. We've done it. We've done it. We've got to the end of Series 1 of, you know, it's been a long road, getting this podcast going. I'm very sad because on the Spotify side, I don't qualify for Wrapped on the Creators. So guys, as much as I love you all here on YouTube, don't forget I also have Spotify. So go and check me out on there. I shall link my Spotify in the video description. And I'll add it to my channel actually as well as a separate place for you to go and find me. I'll figure out how to do that, because I want to see how I do as a creator on Wrapped, not just a music listener and stuff and podcasts. So, you know. Anyway, let's get into Mr. Albert R. Brocolli. So, picking up, we're starting with his personal life. So it says that Brocolli married 3 times. In 1940, at the age of 31, he married actress Gloria Blondell, the younger sister of Joan Blondell. They then divorced amicably in 1945 without having had children. And then in 1951, he married Nedra Clark, a widow of the singer Buddy Clark. They adopted a son, Tony Brocolli, after which Nedra became pregnant. She died in 1958, soon after giving birth to their daughter, Tina. And in 1959, our old Albert, he married actress and novelist Dana Natal. They had a daughter, Barbara Broccoli, and Natal adopted his other two children. Albert Broccoli became a mentor to Dana's teenage son, Michael G. Wilson, and the children grew up around the Bond film sets, and his wife's influence on various production decisions is alluded to in many informal accounts. In 1966, Broccoli was in Japan with other producers scouting locations to the next James Bond film, You Only Live Twice. He had a ticket booked on a BOAC flight 911 and cancelled his ticket on that day so he could see a ninja demonstration. Flight 911 or 911 crashed due to air turbulence, killing everyone on board. That's a bit of a sure. Well, okay. Right. It's very sad that. Okay. So a few things. So in 1981, he was honored with the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award for his work in film. The award was presented at the 1982 Academy Awards ceremony by the then current James Bond, Roger Moore. He was the longest Bond. He did like 7 or 8 films. He was Tom Baker of James Bond. Or was Tom Baker the James Bond of Doctor Who? Yeah. Whichever way you want to look at it, don't come for me, okay? It's all good, it's all good. Shh, listen. In 1990, Broccoli also has a start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame as Cubby Broccoli. A thoroughbred horse racing enthusiast, Albert Broccoli owned a Brocco, who won the 1993 Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Santa Anita Park at Arcadia, California. An autobiography was published posthumously in 1990 titled When the Snow Melts, the Autobiography of Cubby Broccoli. It's telling me the ISBN number for it. I don't really know why we need the ISBN number for it in this podcast. The End of Tomorrow Never Dies 1997 displays the dedication in loving memory of Albert R. Cubby Broccoli. The film was the first to revise the opening credit to Albert R. Broccoli's AOM Productions Limited Presents, thus ensuring his name remained in the opening credits of all subsequent Bond films up to and including No Time to Die 2021. The Albert and Dana Broccoli Theatre is one of 3 situated in the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts complex, which was completed in 2010. The Cubby Broccoli Cinema was opened in 1997, situated in the National Science and Media Museum in Bradford, the first UNESCO city of film. So Bradford's in the UK. So let's see how about Broccoli's death. So Broccoli died at his home in Beverly Hills, California, in 1996 at the age of 87 of heart failure, having undergone a triple coronary artery bypass surgery earlier that year. He was interned in an ornate sarcophagus in the outdoor courts of Remembrance section at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills Cemetery in Los Angeles, following a funeral mass at the Church of the Good Shepherd, Beverly Hills. Former Bond actor Timothy Dalton was among the pallbearers. So let's look at some filmography. Producer with Irving Allen. So The Red Beret from 1953, Hell Below Zero in 1954, The Black Knight 1954, Safari 1956, Odongo 1956, Zarak 1957, Interpol 1957, Fire Down Below 1957, How to Murder a Rich Uncle 1957, High Flight 1957, No Time to Die. I imagine this is like a different non-Neo in production. 1958. The Man Inside, 1958. Idol on Parade, 1959. The Bandit of Zob, 1959. And The Trials of Oscar Wilde, 1960. Exec producer with Irving Allen, A Prize of Gold, and Killers of Kilimanjaro. Where he was a producer with Philip C. Samuel. The Cockleshell Heroes, a producer with Howard Hughes, Jazz Boat. Then producer with Harry Saltzman, Dr. No. From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, You Only Live Twice, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die, and The Man with the Golden Gun. And then exec producer with Harry Saltzman, Thunderball, 1965, produced by Kevin McClory. His solo productions include Call Me Buana, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, and Octopussy. Producer with Michael G. Wilson, A View to a Kill, The Living Daylights, and License to Kill. License to Kill. Consulting producer, GoldenEye. He also had some cameos. Fire Down Below, 1957, he was a drug smuggler. And he had a cameo in Moonraker from 1979. He was a tourist in Venice with his wife, Dana Broccoli. So there's a lot there. Just in that. That's his filmography. Now, there doesn't seem to be too much here. Let's see if we can delve a bit more into the man of Albert R. Broccoli. If not, then I suppose this is another short episode. But because there's bios about him all over the place. There's a bit more. So let's just have a look. So he met Dana Wilson at a New Year's Eve party, and there was instant attraction. That's always good. I'm just trying to read, see if there's anything. See, we've read about all of this. Oh, here's some trivia. We love a bit of trivia. So let's get some Albert Broccoli's trivia. Because his bio stuff is covered basically anywhere I look. So it says there was a memorable incident on one of the James Bond film sets. Several crew members decided to get some drinks and charged them to Broccoli. When he later discovered what had happened, he was not angry. He was not at all angry about having to pay for all those drinks. The only thing about this which upset him was that the crew had spelled his name wrong on the checks. That's quite funny. So let's see. Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan all attended his funeral and spoke some parting words. George Lazenby and Sean Connery declined to attend. Connery and Broccoli had fallen out once Connery left the series. Oh dear, there's a lot of trivia here. Oh, we can look at some of the trivia. This is... Cary Grant was best man at his wedding to Dana Broccoli. He was close friends with Sir Alfred Hitchcock and Sir Roger Moore. His James Bond series is the most successful in film history from 1962 to 1997. They grossed more than $1 billion. Along with Lois Maxwell, he was only one of two people to work on all 14 James Bond films from Dr. No through to A View to a Kill. He named his three favourite James Bond films as From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and The Spy Who Loved Me. His least favourite was The Man with the Golden Gun. He admitted that he never foresaw the enormous success of the James Bond series. his Catholic funeral mass was attended by Bond actors Timothy Dalton, Desmond Llewellyn, who played Q, and Mariam Dabo. I need to look who she is at some point. His daughter and stepson both carry out his legacy and took over the business of making the James Bond films, which we now know they've handed over to Amazon. Excuse me. There's some quotes, and I suppose this is a good one actually. So George Lazenby only ever appeared in one James Bond film, and that was the film On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And about that, this is what Albert R. Broccoli had to say. He said he could have been a good Bond, but the minute he signed up, he became impossible. He now says he made a mistake. Occasionally he would call and say he wanted to do Bond again, but I said we couldn't do that. It was a good movie, though, with a good script. George did the best he could in the role. Yeah, I now I kind of know why he only ever did one. He also is quoted as saying, "I honestly feel a responsibility to all the Bond fans out there. I know they look forward to these pictures, and so I'm going to go on delivering them as long as I can. Also, it's a challenge which I enjoy. We try to make each picture more exciting than the one before, to take Bond somewhere he hasn't already been." So they want to refresh more than I'll say Doctor Who at the moment, because Doctor Who is just a bit all over the place. So another quote on Cary Grant's decision to turn down Broccoli's offer to play James Bond. He didn't want to do it. He said, "It's a good idea and I like it, but I can't do Bond." And we couldn't have paid him the money. It would have taken up half of our budget. That's quite funny. Got a few quotes. He said, "I've never made up my mind who Bond is. Sometimes I think it's very dramatic, but mostly it's comedy. One thing I know for certain, it's entertainment." It is. And, I think if Albert Broccoli was still alive today, he would, like the success that James Bond has had, and hopefully will continue to have. I hope that all the people that work on Bond have done Albert proud, and they don't lose their flavor, their essence. They are true Bond films. He's also quoted as saying, "I love looking at the old Bond films. Maybe it's purely out of reminiscence, the nostalgic things you think about. But there were some very good films made, and I think that the public has enjoyed them too." We have. We still watch them. Oh dear. Oh, we still watch them, Albert. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, your pretty little head. Some great films, honestly. He says that we were lucky enough to stumble upon Ian Fleming, and Bond was a bit of a good fortune. The rest was all hard work. And then on Sean Connery, it was the sheer confidence he exuded. I've never seen a surer guy. Every time he made a point, he hit the desk with that great fist of his or slapped his thigh. It just wasn't an act either. When he left, we watched him through the window. As he walked down the street, he walked like the most arrogant son of a gun you've ever seen. That's our Bond, I said. So, not much, I suppose, in the way of a biography as such. I'd have to get my hands on his autobiography perhaps to find out more. So I might look at buying myself that and have a read at some point. And then perhaps we can revisit Mr. Albert R. Broccoli in the future. Um, because I would absolutely love to delve more into this man. We delved so much into Ian Fleming, it was all there, and Albert is just not a whole host of information to read about. But a bit of trivia and some quotes from him, and sort of his early life and career, but not as in depth as what we had for Ian Fleming. But as I said, if I can get my hands on his autobiography, then hopefully we can delve into this man a bit more. So, as always, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all in the Christmas special. Goodbye!